this is what it's like to be open to the public.
Looking around. Yeah, people are watching me, but I don't even care. Just checked out that, oh no, I think they saw me. Oh well, we're just gonna keep walking, no big deal.
Excuse me. Trying to get out of my house.
I need to talk.
And then my camera battery died. It has been a week and I really haven't posted videos to my channel. And you know, I thought that this would be a really good opportunity to put out some content that is real. It shows, you know, real life struggles of owning a brick and mortar store. And there's just been a lot of things that have happened this week that I wanted to talk to you guys about because it's been hard. First, I need to set this camera down because I am not about ready to hold this the whole time. This is just gonna have to be the camera angle that works for today's video because I have a tripod, but I don't know what's wrong with my camera. I think I grabbed the wrong SD card, but I want to film this video, so we're just gonna use my phone. Please forgive me. Good morning, everyone. It's Lindey, remember me? If you're brand new to my YouTube channel, I am an online seller who has recently opened up a brick and mortar bin store, and I sell Amazon liquidation. I sell a little bit of Target. There's mostly general merchandise, some clothing, health and beauty merchandise. And the name of my store is Bullseye Bins. So I've posted a few videos on my YouTube channel talking about my store and how it runs and some different aspects that go into running a brick and mortar store. But the last thing I want to do on my YouTube channel is ever portray anything to be easier than it really is. And this last week is my opportunity to fill you in on the real life stuff that's really not that fun to experience. So my bin store has been open for a little over 4 months now, and for the most part, everything has been amazing. But this last week has really been my dose of reality that having a store open to the public is not necessarily the best thing. There are some circumstances that have arisen this last week that I honestly didn't think I was gonna have to deal with, but I'm having to deal with them. And so I wanted to not only talk to you guys about it because maybe you've got some ideas. If you have any ideas to help me combat all this stuff I'm dealing with right now, feel free to put it down in the comments below. It's an opportunity for me to be helpful to some of my viewers that might be looking to open a brick and mortar store for themselves so that you kind of have a heads up of some things that can happen and some possible solutions to help you out if you experience these same issues. And then it's also an opportunity for me to just vent because I view all of my YouTube viewers as friends. And I know that you guys can probably relate to some of this stuff a lot more than other people in my life because I have a lot of business owners that watch my content. And sometimes you just gotta vent because not everything is all rainbows and puppy dogs all the time. All right, so now let's get to the tea because I know that that's probably why y'all clicked on my video. The big event that kicked off this entire week from hell was Shoplifters. Now I know I would be naive to think that nobody is ever going to steal from my store. I know how people are, but this last week it happened so blatantly, it seriously shocked me. It was a Thursday evening, so it was a $5 day. So it's the day where everything in the store is the most new, the most expensive. And so this is, of course, one of the days that we see the most attempted shoplifters. Coincidentally, we noticed the most shoplifting or shoplifting attempts on $5 day and $1 day. You would think on $1 day there wouldn't be that much left to steal, but it brings out a different kind of crowd, and we see people attempting to steal all kinds of things on $1 day, and frankly, it's both shocking and annoying. So this last Thursday, there was 3 individuals that came in at approximately 5:30 or 6 in the evening, so relatively close to when we close, which in my opinion, if I am going to shoplift from a store, I'm not gonna come and do it when there's the least amount of customers in the store because there's plenty of staff standing around getting ready to close shift. watching customers. We always suspect people of shoplifting when it's the busiest time of the day because that's when there's the most customers in the store. The employees can't watch as much. But these three individuals saw fit to do it at the end of the night when there was hardly any customers in the store and they were most likely to get caught. So these three individuals each had an armful of merchandise and they just simply walked out. They just walked out of the store.
And they're there, looking around. Yeah, people are watching me, but I don't even care. I'm just gonna stroll right by this customer that just checked out that, oh no, I think they saw me. Oh well, we're just gonna keep walking, no big deal. Yep, they just did that. Yeah, I know. And there I go. Stood at the door and screamed at him for a bit, and he walks in and he pays. Yeah, that's right. I caught the third one, and he came in and he actually paid. And then I go to get my phone to call the police.
I saw it happen and I was absolutely dumbfounded. Not only did I notice it, but a customer, that's right, a customer that was literally about ready to leave after checking out, they walked out right in front of this customer. This customer says something, I saw it. Of course, I took off out the door, which is probably not a very good idea in hindsight, but I was calling the police at the time, so I guess that made me feel invincible in some really weird way. But so 2 of the 3 had gotten into their vehicle, and I was yelling at the third that he needed to come back in and pay for the merchandise because I know that they just walked out with it. Of course, he tried to convince me that he already paid for it. It was a whole thing, but I called his bluff. He knew he was lying, so he actually walked back into the store and paid. Yeah, he walked back into the store and paid. But it gets even better. And before you ask if he paid with a credit card, no, he did not. He paid with cash. That would have been just too perfect because then I would have been able to file a no trespass. I would have had his name and all this stuff, but no, he paid cash. But while he was inside paying for the merchandise, I was still on the phone with the police giving a description of their vehicle, their license plate, and a physical description of all 3 of the people that were inside the store. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to tell the woman that is in the car that they also need to bring in the merchandise that they took. She kept telling me that they didn't have anything. And it was only when I started giving the police a physical description of her through the car window, when the gentleman that actually paid for the merchandise came back, she starts immediately throwing items from the back seat at him and screaming at him to go take stuff inside. So he reluctantly starts walking all of the merchandise back inside, although he wasn't smart enough to remember that you have to pull on the door in order to get in. And when he finally remembers, he just drops everything in the shopping baskets just inside the door. And there's Angie totally confused as to what is happening right now. So then the rest of my night was taken up with having the police there, filling out an official police report, totaling up all of the merchandise that they had dumped back into the black shopping basket so that we can get a value for the merchandise they tried to steal. Granted, we have no idea if they had more stuff in the car or not. I think they did. I think that maybe they just grabbed the least valuable items that they had in their possession and they brought those back in. I'm sure that they had a couple more really valuable items that were left inside their vehicle, but they drove off and I was not about to actually approach the car any closer than I already was. Then the next day, we caught a teenager attempting to shoplift some items, and coincidentally, it happened when we had an officer in the store. So if you've been in some brick and mortar stores, you might have noticed that sometimes there are police officers that walk around. A lot of the times those are called walkthroughs, and when police officers are on duty, sometimes they will walk into retail locations that are on their beat and they will just kind of make their presence known to try to deter anybody from any wrongdoing. Coincidentally, I actually went to high school with a now police officer and I am actually on his beat, so he will come into the store pretty much every day that I'm open as long as he's on shift. Well, a day later, he was actually in the store doing a walk walkthrough, and we had a couple of customers report a teenager being highly suspicious. Now, we did not actually see this teenager steal anything. However, the items that we did see in his hands were not in his hands, and we could not find the items. So, leads you to some kind of conclusion. We couldn't see it on the cameras. We couldn't, find these things out, but we are starting to notice shoplifters more and more. And after the blatant walkout situation that we had the night before, we are on high alert now. We are watching people like crazy, and I am most definitely looking into hiring a security guard, which is just another expense, and a lot of the times you have to try to figure out if hiring a security guard and the price tag that's on that is worth the amount of revenue that you are losing when people are shoplifting. So I am having to weigh those two options right now, which is not exactly fun. Pay for a security guard or just watch people and risk things getting shoplifted. I mean, I tend to suspect that even with security guards, people are still gonna shoplift. I mean, these 3 people just blatantly walked out knowing that they were being watched. But then we had another situation arise where it would have been nice to have a security guard. Exactly 1 week later, when we had our new $5 day, we had a line way past the windows. There was probably 30 or 40 people in line on this day because we had some really good stuff in the bins. I start hearing a tapping on the windows, and I look over, and there is a cluster of our customers waving at me, trying to get me, to come over. And the reason for this was because there was a fight about ready to break out in my line. Maybe I'm being a little bit over dramatic, but there was some customers that were very, very upset because there was another customer that was trying to cut everybody in line. Now, the reason why this was extra infuriating to these people at the front of the line was because this was a day that was freezing. It was freezing and it was snowing. And these customers at the front of the line had been waiting in line, I kid you not, over an hour. I know that they were there for over an hour because I checked my cameras before I got to the store that day because I needed to kind of check on the sidewalk to see if I needed to do any shoveling. And I got to the store early because I needed to put down ice melt because of the snow. So I had checked the cameras about an hour and 15 minutes before we opened, and there was already a line starting to form. And then when I got there an hour before the store opened, there was already 10 people in line. So all of these people at the front of the line had been standing in line for over an hour when this customer comes up and tries to cut in front of everybody.
I am so incredibly disappointed that the audio for this security camera footage was lost. I wanted you guys to hear all of this so badly. This lady just walks up and insists that she's going to just enter with all of these people that have been standing in line, and everyone was just screaming at her to get to the back of the line. They ended up calling me over. I also told her she needed to go to the back of the line, and she just insisted that she didn't have to because there was no sign that said that she had to. I explained to her it was common courtesy and it was disrespectful to all of these people. She insisted it wasn't. And after enough badgering from everybody and some magical words that I said, she finally decided to recede her argument and start to head towards the back of the line. And this entire encounter went on way longer than I'm showing you here. I wanted to spare you all of the silent footage, but it was pretty crazy.
And if I was freezing my butt off for an hour in the snow, I'd probably climb them like a tree and scratch their eyes out. So this woman is trying to push her way inside so that she can get a shopping cart first, because a lot of the times we will run out of shopping carts. And a solution to that is not to just buy more shopping carts, because the more shopping carts that are in the store, the harder it is for people to walk around. So we do have shopping baskets for those individuals that do not get a shopping cart. However, she needed a shopping cart because she has a baby, which I completely understand and sympathize with. When I would go to the bin stores in Kansas City with my dad and Benjamin was little, I would have anxiety over trying to get a shopping cart, so I understood completely. So I told her I would hold a shopping cart back for her, but she still needed to go to the back of the line, but again, she refused. And you guys, this was a situation that I honestly didn't see coming, because it's common courtesy. Like, you don't cut people in line, especially when it's snowing and you've seen that they've been standing there. But she absolutely refused to go to the back of the line. She said that her car had been in the parking lot. She just didn't want to stand out in the cold. And the fact that these people were standing in line was not her fault. How do you So all of these people in line, as she's talking, they were getting more and more fired up. People were pulling out their cell phones to start recording video, but all of the people at the front of the line were starting to get more and more upset because she was absolutely trying to push her way to the front of the line because I guess she felt entitled because she needed a shopping cart for her baby. I kept telling her I would hold a cart back for her, so she was assured to have one, but she still needed to go to the back of the line. She wasn't going to the back of the line, and so finally I had to say the magic words to get her to do what I wanted her to do. Can you guess what those magic words were? If you don't go to the back of the line, you don't get to shop. That's right, hit them where it hurts. When I told her she would be banned from shopping that day, she went to the back of the line. Because y'all, there was good stuff in the bins that day. I posted pictures to Facebook. Why do you think I had a line forming when it was snowing outside? Oh yeah, I forgot something else that happened before that event. The day before, when we had come in to stock the store, y'all heard of dumpster divers? I think everybody's heard of dumpster divers by now, right? I mean, I myself have, dived into a dumpster. We've suspected that we've had dumpster divers for a few weeks now because we will put bags of trash in our dumpsters and then we'll come in the next day and the dumpster's not as full as we remember. Little suspicious, like, where'd these bags go? But I mean, that doesn't bother me. It's not illegal to dumpster dive in the state of Kansas. As long as they're not making a mess, I don't care. Guess what happened? That is what happened. We came in to do stocking and the dumpster was basically empty and they had torn bags open and just thrown all of the loose trash in the fenced in portion behind our building. Yeah. What kind of monster does that?
3 days in a row.
And the worst part is there's nothing that I can do about it. There's absolutely nothing that I can do. I have cameras back there, but dumpster diving is not illegal. And if I did try to get them for littering, I would have to know exactly who they are, which my camera did not pick up the license plate. And then it's just a municipal fine. That's it. Where's the repercussion? Where's the justice? There is none. So the only thing that I can do, sadly, is try to tolerate whatever we can and wait for my trash company to come and install a lock bar on my dumpsters, which is happening. So we are going to be locking up the dumpsters so that people can't even open them anymore. And to try to circumvent this situation until we get the lock bar installed on our dumpster, we are just going to not use bags. And this could end up biting us in the butt, but I think part of the problem and why the situation was created was because there was just a bunch of black trash bags in the dumpster and people felt the need to rip them open to find the good stuff. I think if we just throw away all of the garbage loose without being bagged, then someone who wants to come and dumpster dive can just simply look in the dumpster and see that there's nothing worth taking, because honestly, 95% of what's in our dumpster is plastic bags. That's it. Plastic bags and empty food containers. That's it. We do not throw away anything valuable, but somehow people think we do.
Not kidding. You guys aren't gonna believe this.
This is the same day I filmed the video. I just went to go dump trash outside, like went to go throw trash in the dumpster, and I caught a dumpster diver with their entire body hanging inside my dumpster.
And there are all kinds of Excuse me? Excuse me? Try and get out of my dumpster. What's that? Would you mind getting out of my dumpster? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, there's literally nothing in the service step back, so please go. Okay.
The timing is too perfect. You can't make this crap up. Cannot wait until that lock bar is installed. Seriously getting obscene. So that has been my week. I'm sure that by the time you're seeing this, I already have the lock bar installed on my dumpster, and I'm sure that all of these problems will have fixed themselves. I might even have a security guard by this time. Pulling out the camera today and just kind of venting is just helping me feel better, because this is what it's like to be open to the public. When I was selling online exclusively, it's a lot easier to deal with difficult customers when you're behind a screen, when you're behind a keyboard, when you can type out a nasty message in response to them and then erase it and then send a nice one instead. It's really awkward and overwhelming and intimidating even to have to look customers in the face when you tell them to go to the back of the line or you're gonna ban them from the store. That's not in my nature. None of this kind of stuff is in my nature. I don't like being mean to people. I don't like having to be an authoritarian, but it's part of the job. It's something that I have to do, and I am learning as I go. Some of it's fun, but not everything. So anyways, thank you guys for listening to my little rant. If you have any words of wisdom or words of encouragement, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check the video description. I always put a lot of useful information in there for you guys, as well as a list of playlists that might interest you. If you like this video for some reason, or if you just want to encourage me, feel free to hit the thumbs up. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content whenever I get around to posting videos. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you with my next video. Bye.